Okay. Yeah.
Who's making the sound?
You mean who sneezed?
What?
Somebody was like, oh.
Oh, that's our little dog.
Oh, you have a dog too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You have a zoo. Okay. Shradik.
And I didn't get to the second key.
Okay, fine. Can you turn on the metronome and play it for me, let's say 80. Turn it to 80 and play it very, very steady, as relaxed in the left hand as possible. Do not push with the thumb. And when you come to the frog, remember to bring the wrist to your nose or to your teeth, because you go a little bit behind your ear. Try. Again. Why don't you repeat each of the exercises just as it says, so you get more familiar? It's not bad, but it's not great. Watch your wrist, so the wrist is not too low, and you actually don't have to go all the way to the frog in this exercise. Repeat the exercise. Okay, good. It sounds a little bit like this. It's a little sinus infection because your fingers going down and pushing on the string. I need you to tap on the string, making a noise of fall, but not to push. The hand's supposed to be relaxed and fingers supposed to be strong and moving up and down like this without pressing. No massaging, just tapping. Understand? All right. Now, what else do we do? What other? We do Shevchik, right?
Yeah.
Show me your Shevchik, please.
The 27th one.
And that one too. But I want to hear all of them.
Okay. With the metronome?
Pardon me?
What's the metronome?
If you can play original tempo, yes. Otherwise, at this point, I don't care. It's not necessary to me.
I think I don't.
much better. I have one problem, and that problem needs to be immediately addressed and immediately fixed. This is a good bow hold. This is your bow hold. Good one. I will get closer to my camera. See, this is what I want. This is what I get. Do you see this? So the thumb needs to find the middle of the middle finger right here. Yours is too shallow somehow. Sometimes it is because you don't have that connection between the second finger and the thumb. Sometimes it's for various other reasons. And yes, it is possible to play like this. No, it is not okay. There was this, I think he's still alive, a wonderful violinist, Vladimir Spivakov. He was a superstar, and he was a music director of Moscow Virtuosi Orchestra that for some time, say 30, 40 years ago, was unconditionally the best chamber orchestra in the world. He was an amazing violinist. He had incredible sound, and his concerts were completely sold out, like years ahead. And I was lucky because my teacher and him were friends, so I was frequently in his classroom, just watching him teach, right? And he, even though he studied with one of the best Moscow conservatory teachers, somehow his second finger was a little bit too high, just like yours. And I swear, he repeated it over and over and over to every one of his students that this is wrong, that if he could fix it, he would, that he doesn't want to play like this, but it's too late for him. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So please understand, this is good, this is not. Okay? Let's try one more time, otherwise you're sounding really, really good. I'm very impressed with you. Please remember, if you use the paper music, you may want to even write yourself a little note to watch for the second finger. Other than that, this is one of the better Shevchiks that I heard in the last few weeks, because obviously many students are doing it, so I'm very impressed. Did you do the second one too?
No, I only practiced this.
Okay, show me your practice.
I practiced a lot of the 27th one.
Okay. impressive. Very impressive. Now, do you have a pencil?
Yeah.
Right. I want you to write down that your elbow needs to be on the position of the D string and not on the position of the A string. So elbow a little bit higher without raising the shoulder. Then the whole thing will be easier and better and stronger in a stroke. The other thing is, you could try a little bit faster. You're playing with a very, very short and very, very light bow, so it is much easier to do it with the bow like mine, for example. But you know, you're a very talented person, and you might want to find your bounce there by default. So let's try. You were good. How about that tempo, just a little bit faster. Watch your elbow. It has to have a feel. See, this is my arm straight, right? Now I relax my wrist. Now I flick up and down, flick up and down. You are playing a little bit like this, and you're still reaching the G string, but you cannot go any more down because you're already like this. This, you can go down and up. Understand? Let's try. Just a little bit higher elbow, a little bit. That is good. Go. Too far. You're going too far. See, that's what's happening. You were out there, you were trying to reach that G string, but G string is much closer. You don't have to go so far. Happening, you playing with your wrist both this motion and this motion. This motion is played with the arm. Wrist only catches the string. Can you play for me D only and not to flick so much? No, see, that's what I don't want. You are playing like this. I want you to play like that. Good. Now hold it just a little bit closer to the floor. And now flick, flick, flick. First start to play D string. Find me that sound. No. You're going the wrist again. Your wrist is going to fall off if you play like this. Now you're using the arm, but you're using too much bow. Shrink the bow and speed it up. Yeah, it's not supposed to be right. It's supposed to be even. Now reach for that G. Flicking of the wrist sideways. You're doing a great job, and you have learned a very difficult piece, and you sound great, but you are not getting the actual stroke that I wanted to. You're doing the brush stroke, and I wanted the saltire, and that's a big difference. Do you understand?
Yeah. Okay. When I do it 4 times each, it kind of, like, my arm gets really tired, but when I try to relax my arm, I can't really do this stroke. And it's hard for me to relax my arm when I do it.
Right. Oh. Really? You're so little and so young and so flexible, and you can't play that little exercise 4 times each one? Anyway, obviously, when your arm gets tired, you need to stop. But there are 2 things. You need to exercise your arm to be strong, but you also need to learn to not to use any unnecessary energy, right? So if I play like this, I go and I can go like this forever. If you flick all over the place, then yes, you will get very tired, especially if your elbow is low and that wrist takes a huge toll. So please don't do this because you will hurt yourself. Okay, now let's go to the spiccato, to number 2. That is actually quite good. Watch the second finger. Okay? I have a request. If you could, not right now, but once we are done, I want you to videotape that exercise. You can do a few takes and pick the best one and text it to me, okay? Because I have a couple of students that are twice older than you, and they cannot play as well as you, and I think they think that I'm asking for something impossible. So it would be very nice if I share a video of little girl playing it better than them. Perhaps they got mad at themselves and practice better. Okay?
Okay.
Very good. Number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, stop. Now we need a metronome.
It says critical. I don't have it on that, but okay. I don't know what sweet to do.
What? What's the problem here?
Is it 138 or 188?
Oh, I don't care. You set to whatever tempo you like.
Okay.
You're welcome to go much slower if you wish.
Okay.
Oh, wait. This is way too fast for you right now. Slow it down. Stop. You are a very strange girl. Most of the girls get stuck at the frog. You get stuck at the tip, like boys do. You go, your down bow is fast, but your up bow is like a slow motion. No, try it. No, you are too slow.
Can she? Don't play it that fast, maybe. She didn't practice it nearly that fast.
I didn't even practice it.
She didn't practice it at all, actually.
I know. Good, better. Now, you do not need to go to the frog. You need to go pluck, pluck, pluck at the middle of the bow. And I know you can. So try again. And why don't you vibrate those long notes? There's no with us. Yeah. Stop. Get the pencil. And remember this pom 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 pom. This pom pom pickup is at the frog. It says fr over that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Stop. This is the idea. And you may practice even slower than what it is, but then gradually you need to bring it back to the original tempo and play it through once a day with your second finger staying down low. Understand? The next one, quick. Don't need the metronome. Okay, stop. This may take very little or may take very long time. When you go pum 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 pum, the tip of the bow is supposed to go like this and not like that, because when you play pum 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 on that video, your tip of the bow turns into just giant balloon. You go pum 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 pum. Do you understand? So somehow, as you go strong and you go from the entire arm, you need to find the motion that keeps the bow absolutely straight. It is exactly the same idea as at the scale. Remember when we tried to connect without losing the bow direction. Okay, now we've done a lot of technique. I don't want to do as much next time. So next time when we connect, please remind me that I wanted to start with the concerto, okay? And now play for me as much time as I can.
From the first page or second?
Yes, please. Good. Try one more time. Stop. Try one more time. Can you play this phrase for me by memory and looking at the bow? Your bow is traveling between fingerboard and the bridge all the time. It does not make a sound better. That's much better. That's much better. Go on. it is really, really well done. I don't like the very opening. I think you're too much concerned about your shifts. You squish the bow and bow goes sideways. When you started to pay attention, it became better. I also think that you are ready to play it a little bit faster. And a little bit faster would be much easier. Can you start from where your staccato starts and just do a little bit quicker? Everything would be easier if you could play faster. Okay. Now, how about save the bow, do not waste it all. Okay, you're going too close to the frog and that's what's causing the problem. You need to open the arm and then save the bow on those staccatos. Good, good. Stop. At least in this tempo, maybe even faster. You can practice your staccato on open strings, finding the steadiness of that motion because you're moving boulders right now. You're playing every note separately and working too hard. Other than that, it sounds really good. Play for me a little bit of the second subject. Just follow on. Stop. Work on the end of this. The second half is much stronger than I remember it, and it's actually much stronger than the first half. Work on the beginning, work on the end. Okay?
You never heard her play the second page before.
Pardon me?
You haven't heard her play page 2 before.
Well, it's better than the page 1. It's beautiful.
Well,
It uses the same technique and it's very well done.
well, on the measure 59 on the.
Okay, can you do for me something? Move back a little bit so I can see your left hand. Go. Okay, absolutely correct. Many kids do this stepping actually.
I actually did that in my practicing, and then I just noticed that
Yeah, don't do that.
because I heard the E string keep playing like dun dun dun.
Good girl.
But I tried to
Good girl.
keep my finger down.
All right. So you're doing really well with that piece. Practice your staccato. I think the staccato is what confuses your first half. And the beginning, the bow control. Relax your shifts and control your bow. The sound will be much better. All right? Next time, remind me. Let's just start with the concerto. Make sure that you play a few scales and you're tuned, so we don't have to warm you up. Okay?
Okay.
I PayPal'd you, so look for it, okay?
Pardon me?
I PayPal'd you, so
Okay, good.
look for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Mwah,
you.
I love you and miss you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Well, that was unfortunate.